Q Crew, what's going on? Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Suave Q, aka the Q Pill, and you guys are tuned into the Q Pill podcast. Now, in today's video, I wanted to react to a TikTok that I saw of a woman overtly stating that nice guys finish last. Now, y'all know that's something men typically say. As we deal with women, we try to treat them like queens, princesses. We're gentlemen, we're chivalrous. We try to give them what they want, happy wife, happy life type shit. And we see that they grow tired of that relatively quickly, or they shoot it down, reject it altogether, and then they gravitate to the men that they claim to hate. But before I get into it, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, share this content with your friends, your family, your colleagues, your peers. Let them get a dose of the Q pill as well, so we all can overdose on these facts, this logic, and this objectivity. Let's get into it. Now, this woman, she appeared to be at a party. In my opinion, she's probably a 304. She's relatively young, look like she's in her early 20s, probably parties a lot, drinks a lot. Let's face it, if she's saying what she said about nice guys finishing last, then she understands, and she's been around the block a little bit. She understands what she's attracted to, and she understands female nature. Then hell, most men understand, and what most women would be truthfully willing to acknowledge about female nature. I want y'all to take a look at this, because you rarely catch a woman in the wild on camera being as overtly honest and direct as this woman right here.
What kind of guys do you reject?
The nice guys.
And what does that mean?
Nice guys finish last all the time.
What do you mean? Tell us.
Nice? You're boring. You're fucking boring.
And what kind of guys do you go for?
Toxic. Give me the
dude.
toxic, the mean.
Do you like douchebags?
Manipulative, yes.
And do you care about height?
I do. If you're a fucking midget, I don't want to be with you. But since I'm sure if you're 5'10" and over, you're good.
5'10".
I want you guys to take that all in. Matter of fact, let me play it for y'all one more time so y'all can hear. Listen carefully at what she says about nice guys, how she feels about nice guys. Listen to the words.
What kind of guys do you reject?
The nice guys.
And what does that mean?
Nice guys finish last all the time.
What do you mean? Tell us.
Nice? You're boring. You're fucking boring.
And what kind of guys do you go for?
Toxic. Give me the
dude.
toxic, the mean.
Do you like douchebags?
Manipulative, yes.
And do you care about height?
I do. If you're a fucking midget, I don't want to be with you. But since I'm sure if you're 5'10" and over, you're good.
5'10".
Now, I stopped recording right before she said what she said about short guys. She said if you're 5'6" or below, you should kill yourself. That's what she said, which tells you to the extent how this explains perfectly how women really feel. Understand, this is not one woman. She's not an exception to the rule. This is how women covertly feel, innately, viscerally, on a subconscious level. She says she rejects nice guys. Nice guys finish last always. They're boring. Now, what I want y'all to understand about what the nice guy is a nice guy is a guy who she either perceives is deceptively trying to get her by pretending to be somebody that she wants, or he thinks she wants, or the nice guy is simply somebody who doesn't sexually excite her in his masculinity. And that's what most women talk about. Most women want you to know that they don't want you to know, but most men are aware that women who date bad boys are sexually aroused and sexually receptive to their masculinity, and it's for a good evolutionary purpose. You know, masculinity correlates to higher levels of testosterone, you know, higher sex drive. It correlates such as to like traits such as disagreeableness, industriousness, low neuroticism. These correlate to men having the potential to be more successful socioeconomically, which is more attractive to women, their status symbols, their power. And it means that they're likely going to accrue more resources that a woman and her offspring can thrive on when she mates with them. This goes back, I'm talking 300,000 plus years of evolutionary wiring within the female brain. This is how they are. And I'm glad she said it. And we're not going to take the moral route and shame her for it or insult her for it, because This is what you want to know as a guy. The whole point is to understand female nature so that we can better adapt and use it to our advantage. And when we hear women say things like that, it could be kind of repulsive as a guy, especially if you don't fit that criteria. Let's face it, especially if she's attractive, and you wanted a chance with her. You're losing that competition to the men who have the qualities that you simply don't. They have the mentality that you simply don't. They have the attitude that you simply don't. They have the charisma, the confidence, the intelligence, the wit, the edge, all these qualities that women find innately desirable on a sexual level. And this is what women conflate with guys who aren't boring. This is why she said the douchebags, manipulative, the toxic one. All these words women use to describe men who do nothing but sexually arouse them, and they do that by standing on principle, standing in their masculinity, taking pride in their masculinity. They're not afraid to tell a woman no. They're not afraid to make a woman feel like a human being. They're not afraid to make a woman cry and not give a shit once the tears start coming out her tear ducts. These are the type of men that women will claim they don't want and don't like, but they can't get enough of when you observe them in real time and watch who they actually are attracted to and who they're sexually receptive to. So we're not going to shame and insult her for it. We're going to thank her because she's putting female nature on display. She's letting us know overtly what women are attracted to, and this is what being red pilled is all about. It's understanding female nature. Now, what I will say is women have shitty mate selectivity. Women have shitty mate selectivity. So what she, just as erroneously as she could interpret a manipulative guy versus a nice guy, there could be a guy who is balanced in his masculinity, and when he exhibits feminine qualities, he knows how to stand on he knows how to stand on principle. He knows when to fight, but he also knows when to think. He also knows how to get out of situations. He understands when to use what elements of his masculinity and how much of. Women aren't good at discerning the difference between men who are toxic and men who understand how to use their masculinity and wield it in the ways that are advantageous and beneficial based on the situation and the circumstances. That's the element of female nature that's really shitty when it comes to selecting mates, and that's why they struggle. Also, what's going to happen with her is we're going to let her think that. We're going to let her believe that, because when it comes down to it, as she gets older and she's ran through, and these bad boys who are sexually receptive to her since she's attractive right now in her youthful stages, when she grows towards that wall and she nears that wall, she's about to hit that wall, she's going to find out that the consequences, the negative consequences of this lascivious behavior is going to prove detrimental, because she's no longer going to be able to attract the bad boys that she's capable of attracting right now. And that's why I say let women behave how they want to behave. You don't got to criticize them. I mean, you don't have to hold it over their heads. We can criticize them, we can judge them, but we don't have to speak as if it tears us to our core to hear it, because at the end of the day, the power will shift back into the man's favor. You see, she's talking about the type of men that she wants, and the type of men that she wants, she may very well be able to attract them right now, but that's not going to stand over the that's not going to sustain over the next decade, and she will soon find that out. Time is the best teacher when it comes to women. Age humbles women. There's no better teacher than Father Time. That's why it's called Father Time. In reality, time is women's daddies, because they teach them all the lessons that they don't seem to get throughout their youthful stages, when they're acting crazy and thotting it up and going all around the parties and clubbing and drinking and just getting under every guy that they find attractive or who flashes a little bit of money in front of their face. So I want you guys, I want you guys to just take this lesson from this, because this is female nature on display. We're not going to be upset. They hate nice guys. She even says, she mentions height, but when it comes down to it, women hate nice guys. And as a man, it's imperative that you know that, so you can stop treating them like they're more grandeur than what they are. You could stop pedalizing them. You could stop expecting that they're going to behave like angels. Women are nothing like angels. Women are human beings and should be treated as such. Your world should not revolve around a woman. You should not be scared to tell her no. You should not be scared to yell at her. You should not be scared to put her in her place. You should not be scared to make her cry. All these things they innately respect They may say they hate it, and that's one of the reasons why you say don't listen to what women say, watch what they do. But in this instance, she's being honest and upfront about what it is that she's attracted to, and she's accurate in her attraction. So I'm letting you guys know this is what women like. Treat them like human beings. That's why they stick around. You treat a woman like a human being, she doesn't want to leave. You act like you don't care if she leaves out the fuck out the door. She doesn't want to go anywhere. She'll go out the door and come right back. That's why it's important that we hear women in their entirety. Show this side of them. Because there are too many men out here who believe that they have to be nice and they have to be, vulnerable and all this other bullshit that women will claim that they want, but it doesn't get them wet. Y'all heard it firsthand here. Toxic, manipulative, a douchebag. This is what they like. And understand that these terms are based on their subjective interpretation of what that means. In girl code, what that means is a guy that doesn't do what I want him to do. A guy that doesn't listen to me. I don't run him. He doesn't behave in the ways in which I've envisioned in my mind. He doesn't align with my Disney with my Disney fairy tale, my Disney fantasy. That's all an asshole or a jerk is, or a douchebag to most women. A man who's masculine and is proud of his masculinity and stands on his masculinity and doesn't give a fuck what she thinks. This is what women are attracted to. This is what they like. And she proved that here. No surprise there. We actually need more women to come out and admit this. Maybe it'll start clicking in a lot of men's minds about how they should go about dealing with women. I'm Suave Q. Thank y'all for tuning in. Over and out.